That's so dramatic. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a little introduction. Welcome to Move Yoga Life. Tonight, we're going to be doing a class on the Virgo New Moon. And the Virgo New Moon is going to be really understanding what it means to connect to your truth, to understand how to have a strong, balanced place of communication, really focusing on how to express your emotions, your feelings. It's all about your throat chakra. And not everyone knows exactly what their throat chakra is. And that's why I hope you're here, because you don't have to know these things. That's the whole point of these classes, is to understand that, like I was saying before I hit record, it's about understanding the different energies and the different challenges that we're experiencing each and every season. So how many of you actually follow the new moon cycle and the full moon cycle? Does anyone want to chime in? Does anyone follow that at all? Whitney says no. Michael, I know you do every day, right? Religiously. Anybody else? Heather? I hope you do. Does anyone?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you, Cece. I'm like, anybody. Okay, who does it? Who doesn't know what the heck that is or what we're really talking about?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Okay. Awesome. Anybody else? Whitney, did you say something?
Sorry, I had to step out for a second.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So the reason why I'm asking is because I want to get a feel of the class, because if everyone kind of knows what I'm talking about, then I want to make sure that I don't bore you. But like Michael, that's not exactly sure. Whitney, that's not exactly sure. Then I want to make sure to catch you guys up. Okay. And so what I was saying before is that I started these classes because, how do I best describe this? I started these classes because I really was trying to figure out my emotions. I was trying to figure out, why is it that I have up days, down days, and they seem to fluctuate quite a bit. And in understanding that was to really try and understand my own cycle as a woman, as far as understanding my own moon cycle. In my research doing that, I realized that our planet Earth, also has its own moon cycle. Okay. And its moon cycle, the energy on this planet, this is not juju spiritual stuff. This is just legit science as far as what happens here on planet Earth. We move through different seasons. We move through different energies. And what's fascinating is that the energy changes with the moon. And that the powers of the moon is so strong, the magnetic powers of the moon, that it's even enough to obviously change the tidal waves and the energy within the waters. And yet here we are, made of a huge percentage of water. So my mind started thinking, interesting. If we're made of a big percentage of water, and this energy of the moon has enough power to change the waves and the tides and the seasons, then what does that mean for me? And as I began to do that research, I began to notice that every 4 weeks, we come into this new energy with the new moon. And that's where this understanding of your chakras becomes fascinating. The chakras are an energy system that the ancient yogis believed that was aligned within our system. And the main ones are the 7. What's really cool is that these chakras are linked to the different months, and it's also linked to the different zodiacs. So here we are now. We're 2 weeks into a Virgo. Is anyone here a Virgo? Does anyone have a birthday in around this month or just past? Yay, Susie! Happy early birthday, late birthday?
It's the 12th.
The 12th. Okay, so just passed.
Yes.
Oh, happy late birthday! All right,
Thank
so
you.
this is going to be really important for you, okay?
And me.
Oh, and Heather.
Yes.
When's your birthday? That
August
just passed.
31st.
That's right. Okay,
Yes.
okay, cool.
Thank
Happy
you.
late birthday. Cool, so we do have some Virgos. This will be really cool. You guys will be welcome to chime in and fill in any information that I might be missing. What's really cool is that each of these zodiacs are linked to particular chakras, right? So follow me here, Michael, and whoever is not really understanding, just stay with me, okay? Understand that being that for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be in this interesting energy of our throat. And what the throat chakra means is that for the next 4 weeks, you will be faced with challenges and experience and opportunities to really strengthen your voice, to really strengthen your place of communication and expression. The throat chakra is also your place of truth. It's the color of blue. Each chakra comes with a different color, a different intention. It's connected to different hormones, different endocrine systems, and different places within the body. And when we begin to understand that, when we begin to understand that each new moon comes with a different energy and a different purpose, and we become aware of that, then we really can have fun understanding that when something comes our way, we can actually start to see that this is an opportunity for growth. And we can actually start to see that actually I know how to maneuver through this because I went to Monique's class and we talked about something this. The synchronicities and the aha moments start to happen. And so what I would like to do tonight, what I would really like to do tonight is go over the 5 ways to stay connected to this Virgo throat chakra new moon, okay? Now, we're going to go over those 5 ways, and we're also going to go over these ways so that we actually also understand how to manifest. I made these classes because what I recognized is that when we became aware of the energy around us and what's working for us, and we actually locked in some really serious intention, like goal setting and manifesting things that we want to actually improve and change in our lives, magnificent things start to happen. Okay. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Michael, do you understand? I can't see everyone. A lot of people are blacked out. Is there like something on here on Zoom where I can see people raise their hand or anything that I can see that people are here with me? There you go. Hey, I got a couple of hands. I want this to be a very interactive as much as you can. There we go, Cece, thank you, thumbs up. If you can show me a thumbs up. I like to see my students, and I like to just kind of gauge where everyone's at, because if I'm losing people, then I'm wasting my fucking time. Okay, and you're wasting
Whoa,
your time.
virgin ears here.
Whoa, this is your first class, Michael? You don't realize all the F-bombs come out. So welcome to Move Yoga Life also means be prepared to hear some major cuss words, okay? So, I'm
the in person.
I like to make sure that I'm as authentic as I can be. And I don't want to just say things just to say things. I really want to make sure that everyone's understanding what I'm talking about, because this stuff can be a mouthful. All right. But the main reason why we're sitting here tonight, honestly, is because I've been teaching these classes for almost 3 years now. And the testimonies and the miracles and the honestly crazy, miraculous things that I have witnessed, and Heather, I know you're a witness to these things as well, have been mind-blowing. These classes have turned into something that I never honestly expected. I like chakras, and I'm a Cancer, so I love the moon. I'm a moon child. And so why not teach something that I loved? But the things that started happening out of the classes were far more than what I had ever expected. My goal was to be able to create some awareness for my students, for my community, for my friends and my family, because I understood that once we become aware of our habits, once we become aware of our environment, once we become aware of what's happening around us, to us, then we can really start to take a bit of control of our own lives and really know where we want to put our energies at. And also understand why things aren't working out for us. When we transition into these different waves of energy, like we've been moving into now for the last 2 weeks, of opening up our place of truth, of being able to speak our truth and use our voice and learn how to truly communicate and listen. When these things start to happen, if you are not aware of this, then you'll have moments where you'll miss opportunities of growth. You'll have moments where people are going to test you to use your voice. And if you're not prepared for that, then honestly, I don't know other way to say it, you could fail miserably. But when we are aware of that, and we understand that there's 5 ways to stay connected to that consistently on a daily, making sure that you're staying in flow with this Virgo throat chakra energy. Really, it's just really activating your voice and your truth. Then by doing that, by staying balanced and by staying in flow with that energy, that's where the manifestations can really start to happen. Now you're using your energy and your time wisely, and you're using it towards the things that you want, not towards the things that are taking up your time and space and just not necessary. Does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up if you, or thumbs down or sideways? Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right, sweet. So my goal tonight is for you guys to understand when you leave here what these last 2 weeks are going to be about, what's going to be happening, so that you can manifest the things that you are wanting to manifest. The goals and the things that you are working on, if you don't even know what those are, hopefully tonight you'll have an idea of what you're going to be working on in these next few weeks, and hopefully on to the next season. Okay. And my other goal is for you to get a better understanding of really what is the throat chakra, and understand that intuitively, where I will be able to guide you through a meditation for you to better understand that and allow yourself to really to go into that space. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay, cool. In our workshops, what would happen typically after that is we would actually do a yin yoga. We would do a yoga class specifically focusing on the throat chakra. Each posture and each affirmation, now that you have the awareness, the knowledge, we would apply that and put that into the actual practice, so that your body and your mind and hopefully your spirit is all in line and in sync and tuned with exactly what your intention is and what the meaning of the purpose of these next few weeks is all about. Now, we won't be doing that tonight, but I do have a little surprise for you at the end of class, so that you guys can be able to use a little bit of yoga here when we get off, okay? And I'll share what that is here in a little bit. So who's ready? Who's ready to really get into this and understand what the hell I just was talking about for the last like 20 minutes?
Let's get it.
All right. Thank you. Cece, Michael, thank you. Whitney,
Let's go.
everyone that's
Let's go.
interacting with me, thank you so much. Let's do it. So this is how I like to get everyone started with the class. I like to guide you to through a meditation. So if you want, you're welcome to get in a comfortable position. And if you want to go ahead and move your camera so we don't see you, whatever, this is your space. But get in a comfortable position, either by lying down flat or sitting up completely straight. All right. And so the goal here is that if you're lying down flat, the spine is nice and straight, the shoulders are back, the body is relaxed. And if you're sitting up nice and tall, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, just pumping up the chest just a little bit so that you can open up the heart, allowing the spine to be completely straight, and sucking in the belly button just a little bit so that you can support the lower back. And for everyone, your eyes are closed. Your eyes are closed. Now, the throat chakra, these next few weeks of your voice, it's not going to be just about using your voice. That's not all what the throat chakra is about, but it's also about really allowing yourself to listen intuitively, mindfully. A lot of us find ourselves sometimes maybe being chatty McChatty. This is also the time to recognize that and see that maybe this is a place for you to not say much, but instead for you to listen. So tonight, I challenge you to really open up your listening skills and really focus in and hone in on my voice as I guide you through really understanding what this next few weeks is going to be about. So let's begin by first just really settling into your body, into your bones, feeling the heaviness of the weight of your body really relaxing. And then guiding your awareness guiding your awareness to your breath. We're not controlling any breathing right now. We're just noticing your natural breathing. Just breathing in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth. And with every inhale and exhale, just continuing to melt into your space. Now begin to listen. Listen to the sounds within the room. Listen to your breathing. Listen to my voice. Take a deep breath in through the nose and open mouth side out. Take another deep breath in and open mouth side out. And then slowly on the next breath, slowly, gently inhale through the nose. Continue to breathe in to where you can't breathe in anymore. Filling up the lungs, filling up the belly, bringing the breath all the way up into the clavicle bone and just suspending the breath here, holding the breath here for just a moment. Allow yourself to feel the breath moving through the body, all the way to the tips of the toes, the tips of the finger, and now open mouth, exhale it all out. Seal the lips now, keeping the lips sealed and taking deep breaths in through the nose and deep breaths out through the nose. And let each inhale be for the count of 4 or 5. Inhaling to the count of 4. Holding the breath for the count of 4. And exhaling out through the nose for the count of 4. Do that with me 2 more times. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale out through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, not having to count, just allow yourself to continue that long, deep breathing, feeling the relaxation of the body, of the mind, and allowing yourself to continue to tune into my voice as you listen to the rest of what this next 2 weeks is going to be about. The throat chakra. The throat chakra is the first of the higher centers. It's associated with communication, self-expression, and creativity through sound. The Sanskrit meaning is of purification. It offers a clue to this type of communication. This is not everyday chatter, but purposeful thoughts and speech. Not everyday chatter, but purposeful thoughts and speech. It's about personal expression combined with responsibility. Developing the throat chakra means choosing words that bring value to communication. A further implication of the throat chakra is that only by successfully working through your lower 4 chakras, which is your root chakra, your survival space, your sacral chakra, your emotions, your 3rd chakra, your solar plex chakra, is your confidence and your willpower. And your 4th chakra is your heart, the place of gratitude. Only until we have worked through these 4 chakras can you reach the purification of the throat chakra and to truly allow yourself to open up that space, which resonates the color of a beautiful blue in its less intense shade. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Continue to stay in this comfortable position, breathing slowly and deeply through your nose. And now with your next breath, tense each set of muscles from the feet all the way up into the head, tensing every bit of your muscles, clenching the feet, squeezing the hands, tensing the arms straight, tensing up, taking a deep breath in, and open mouth, exhale it all out. Relax. Feel yourself sinking heavily into the chair or onto the floor. Now focus on your lower head and neck, and imagine a beautiful blue mist washing inside your mouth, bathing your throat cavity, swirling around your ears, caressing your neck, gliding over your tongue, relaxing your jaw, so that the area becomes supple and free. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Be aware of any tension within the body, within the mind, and draw the attention of this blue mist to that area so it can be released by it. Be aware of your breathing and allow each inhalation to increase the intensity of the blue mist. Each exhalation to spread this blue mist throughout your throat, mouth, tongue, ears, and neck. Strengthening each area, allowing you to speak your truth, to express your feelings honestly, openly, with compassion to yourself and to others. Deep breath in, deep breath out. As you continue to sense the blue mist swirling around your throat chakra, think of the words, I want and I need. What do you want? What do you need? You have the right to ask for what you want and what you need. You have the right to have your demands listened to with respect and patience. Determined to speak out for yourself in some way every day. Know that by meditating on this beautiful mist daily, you will strengthen and support your throat chakra and move toward a time when your needs and wants are listened to and met, because you have within you everything you need to meet those needs for yourself. And by accepting this, you will find that others will support and honor them as well. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And slowly, gently, mindfully, begin to bring some movement to the body. First by wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, maybe stretching the arms up above you with a big breath in. And then slowly relaxing the arms down and allowing yourself to come back, gently opening the eyes and coming back to focus. Now, before we continue, I'd like for anyone to share anything that stood out for you. Anything that you felt, that you saw, that you heard, either something new or something that resonated with you. Does it feel like this is a place of truth, a space that you feel that you've already been in for the last 2 weeks? Anything that's been challenging to use your voice, to speak up, to express your needs and wants. This is your moment to share if you'd like.
I think mine is how to use my voice more purposefully and not emotionally. And to, I guess, learn how to tell my story.
Yeah. Yes. Amen to that. Do you mind introducing yourself, hon?
I'm sorry, I'm Billy.
Billy, yes. Hi, Billy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you again. Thank you. Does anyone else understand where he's coming from or feel the same? Because what's cool about the throat chakra, and what we're expressing here is that the throat chakra, in order to be balanced, it's actually balanced by the color of orange, the opposite color, which is your sacral space, which is your place of emotion. So understanding your emotions, truly understanding your emotions so that you can clearly, authentically speak your truth with purpose, and that it's actually received and understood. The problem is when we allow our emotions to take over, when we allow our emotions, maybe we haven't taken the time to analyze our own emotions, but yet here we are letting our emotions to control us, control what we say, control how we act, control what we do. So in order for us to really be able to speak our truth, and not only that, but understand our purpose, because Billy, you're right on it. The throat chakra is all about finding your purpose. You worked through these levels. These other 4 levels before you arrived to your place of authenticity. And now you're at a place where you understand yourself. You've forgiven your past. You've come to a place of gratitude. You've built up your confidence because now you truly know who you are and your identity. You really identified your emotions and you've come to peace and really truly understanding your emotions and where to use them and why they're there. And then you've also created a strong foundation. You are where you're at because you're supposed to be there and you understand that. And your structure is sturdy. Now you're at a place where you understand that this is now my time to find my purpose, discover my purpose, and speak that into existence. But in order for that to be balanced, in order for that to be heard, and in order for that to happen, we got to make sure that we worked through the other things first. And so now we're here today. We're here in this amazing Virgo energy. And why I love Virgo and why this season is so cool and so important is because not only is it about really finding our voice, but the Virgo energy is earthy. It's grounded. All right. There's other energies. There's other zodiacs like the Gemini season. That's a throat chakra season. But it's a very airy throat chakra and it has different purpose. This one, it's rooted, it's grounded. Virgos are of this planet. And so we're really bringing what our truth is, what our voice is down here into reality in the present moment. This is where it needs to be. This is where things will actually manifest and happen. And so this is a really good time to really set our goals, set our intentions. Even though it's always a really good time to do that, but we have some really good energy working with us to make that shit actually happen. Does that make sense? And so did anyone else have anything to share as far as what might have stood out? Even for like Cece, I believe you know a lot of the chakras, I believe. Is there anything that you felt that you wanted to share at all?
Yeah, actually this past couple weeks has been really intense, like energetically, and for me speaking my truth and really valuing my worth with some job relationships that I'm having right now, and really speaking my truth as to why I'm worth what I'm worth. And that those conversations have been really tough. But I've been realizing that I am valuable, I am worthy, and I will no longer be manipulated or, controlled. And that I do have a purpose on this place. And I believe my purpose is to shine light in this dark world. And so, I mean, yeah, it's been a crazy season for me.
I bet. And thank you, Cece, for sharing, especially because this is your Virgo season. What I've learned, which is quite interesting in these last several years, is that when we're coming into your time, Heather, Cece, this is your time, right? Virgos. And when we come into our birthday seasons, what happens is you already are a very throat chakra oriented person. You were born with the understanding of how to use your voice. That is your challenge. That is what you arrived on this planet with by being born during the season. Now, when you start to understand chakras, everyone, if you want to study chakras, what's really interesting is when you start to look into it, is that you can have an overbalanced or even a blocked chakras. And you can have, what happens is, if you already, let's say here you are, a place of throat truth, and now we're having this energy moving into that space, that becomes overactive. Does that make sense? Now you got too much going on, too much throat chakra going on. So if you're not aware of that, you can really start to have signs of being out of balance. Now, I want to share with you guys what are signs of an out of balance throat chakra. Some of you might have this. Okay, so just listen. So signs of being having an out of balance throat chakra is fear of speaking up, never listening to others, hard to express your emotions, or too expressive, very stubborn and fanatical. Those are signs of a unbalanced throat chakra. Now, your throat chakra is also connected to your ears, your sinuses, your nose, your mouth, your throat. It's this whole area. So if you have a lot of sinus issues, if you have a lot of dental issues, if you have a lot of throat issues, that's also signs that something's going on in your throat chakra. It might be health-wise, but let's see, maybe you might not be saying things that you've been wanting to say and you've been holding it in, and that can start to fester and stay in that space and start to cause issues within this space. Does that make sense? It's pretty awesome. Do you feel some truth there?
Yes, I have a lot of ear problems. And this past couple weeks, like just massive headaches.
Yeah.
I'm being too expressive.
Okay. Can I give you guys a hint? Can I help you? So I have not found this anywhere. This is the book. This is the book that I use, and this is where I even got my meditation. If you guys want to learn about chakras, chakra healing. Okay. In this book, it will tell you, like I just told you, some signs of what it looks like when you have a blocked throat chakra, an unbalanced throat chakra. But it doesn't really tell you exactly what to do if you have too much of it. So Cece, you probably have too much of it because you are already throat chakra, you're a Virgo. And now here we are in this Virgo energy. Now it's just too much. It tells you what to do if you have too little. That means you bring in more throat chakra, you bring in more fruits, you wear more blue, you journal more, you really focus on your throat chakra. That's if you don't have, if it's blocked. But what do you, if you too much? You go to the opposite color. Does anyone know your color wheel colors from probably art school? Can anyone tell me what the opposite color of blue is? Not a lot of people know this. So points to you if you do. Don't worry.
You just told us orange.
Thank you. Perfect. Cece, you're listening. Thank you. Orange. Everybody, can you write that down, please? Write that down. This is so important. If there's anything you get out of this, just know how, if you want to understand chakras, the chakras, I'm telling you, it's a map to understanding yourself. It's a map to understanding your imbalances. When you start to practice these things, I'm telling you, this is not some like spiritual, like juju stuff. This is like a legit system that was created, an understanding years and years ago from ancient yogis that really started to really understand the body, the mind, and ultimately, if you're lucky enough to really go far enough, is the spirit. And the chakras is a map system to really understanding all that. So when you start to have issues like your sinuses, you can also start to ask yourself, is there things that I'm holding on to that I'm not saying? Have I been using my voice? Have I not even been caring for my throat? Is there some remedies that I need to be doing? This is how you can really start to maneuver and allow yourself to be your own doctor, really, of yourself. What's the Cece or Billy or Michael at 3T Fitness? What does Kevin always say? Mika, I think, brought it up at the last meeting. about Kevin saying to be a scientist of your own self or something like that. Do you guys remember that? She said it so beautifully. But I'm inviting everyone to be your own scientist, you know, to go on a journey and really discover who you are. And the map I would highly recommend using is the chakra map system of really understanding who you are. So if you have an overactive throat chakra, right? And we understood what some of the signs of an unbalanced throat chakra are. And these are some of your things: the sinuses, not using your voice, being too scared to use your voice, being afraid to express your emotions. These are signs. If this is you, then it's important to maybe consider going to orange. Orange is your sacral chakra. That's your emotions, okay? That's your place of passion, of pleasure, of sensuality. Maybe you need to have a little bit more fun and get out and explore some things, change your schedule up, find some joy and spontaneity of what it means to be human. Maybe those are the things that you need to be doing right now. Okay, Cece, does that speak anything to you? Oh, and Heather, if you're there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Mhm.
Okay,
I agree.
okay, good, good. But tonight what we're going to do is we're going to actually talk about the 5 ways to stay connected, specifically for the throat chakra and specifically for these next 2 weeks. So if you guys can do me a favor, I was going to save this for later, and if anyone wanted to get it afterwards, but I'd like to actually just send this to you now. This is being recorded, so what I can do is just put it on the link on YouTube for the details. But if you guys go into the chat area, I sent a link. It's the last one. If you click on that, you should be able to see a PDF that says Virgo Throat Chakra New Moon. Does everyone see that? Can I get a thumbs up from everyone just to make sure that you do see it? Okay, good, good. Hi, Mika, you just joined us. Hey, hon, we're pulling up a link to a PDF file that's on the chat. So if everyone can click on that. So can everyone see that? Okay, it's important that everyone can see that because we're about to go over this. Now, Heather, can you do me a favor? Do you mind sharing what draws you to these classes and why they've been, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it's one thing for me to share this. You know, I'm the one that put the class together, so I'm kind of biased as to why I feel like this stuff really works. But you've been coming to the classes for quite some time and consistently. Why? What is it about this like new moon information and these full moon classes that continues to draw you?
I think it's about refocusing and directing my energy more in a better way, in a more meaningful way, to work towards what's being a positive in my life and less of what's draining and exhausting.
Mhm.
So I've been going through the class, and there's been several things that I've worked on as I've been going, whether it was like a new job, a relationship, a home, and all of those things I have worked on through your classes. And it's been a really beneficial way to kind of help keep me grounded through it all, because, you know, at times it's overwhelming and there's a lot that goes on. And it keeps me mindful of when I feel that way, of what I can go back to, and
Mhm.
also how I connect with others, and how sometimes I think we get so busy that we don't show up the way we want to in our lives to others, whether it's, I mean, work, I think might be a little different because that's, you know, that's work. But I think with friends or with family members, I think it's been very good to realize that everybody's in their own journey, and to recognize that, you know, if we're feeling that way, others might be, and how we can relate to that, to kind of be grateful that, you know, we have this journey
Mhm.
and to work towards the goals that we have, that we want. And sometimes it's not even having goals. It's just about wanting to have more peace, or just show up the way I would like to in my mind. And I hope that I show up the way I would like to others.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing that. And it means a lot because I spend a lot of time putting these classes together for everyone, for you to be able to have material to get through this crazy roller coaster called life. And
Mhm.
and to hopefully be able to make this crazy roller coaster called life enjoyable in that sense. This sheet that I sent to everyone, thank you, Heather. This sheet is what I like to call your life support. Okay. Legit. I'm not kidding. Like, this sheet needs to be in your face wherever you can see it every single day. This sheet that I'm talking about is the 5 ways to connect to the Virgo throat chakra new moon from September 7th to October 5th. Okay. So let's just start with that. That's a pretty big introduction for a little sheet of paper. And when you guys get a chance, please print this out and keep this until October 5th. Keep that close by, because we just went over a meditation that allows you to really understand and become aware of what this throat chakra energy is about. But it's one thing to just have the meditation, feel the energy for the time being, and then go back to your merry way. This sheet is a reminder of, hey, listen, these next several weeks are here to challenge you, to strengthen, to use your voice. And there's going to be multiple opportunities now coming your way for you to do that. And if you're not aware of that, and if you're not putting in the practices daily, I'm legit. I used to say like whenever you can, but now this is not just an option. This is a necessity. And so for you to make sure that on a daily, you're aware of the fact that you, in order to feel the sense that you're in flow and that you're riding these waves, ups and downs of the roller coaster of life, that by using the sheet, when you're starting to come down, and let's say you're having a really rough day and you're feeling, what it feels like when you're not in sync, right? When you're not in flow. When all of a sudden you're having a really bad fucking day, 2 days, 3 days, or now it's turned into a week, now it's turned into a month. And unfortunately, some of us, it's even been longer. My hope and my goal is to be that when you're starting to notice that, or you already know that you're in it, it's because you're not working with the energy around you. You're fighting against it. Right now, the energy around you is saying, speak your truth, communicate, express yourself, listen. And you're not doing those things. And what's happening is now you're having a tug of war. You're fighting against that energy. Recognizing that now and being aware of that, what you would do is you would grab this sheet and be like, okay, I recognize I am not in flow right now. I recognize I feel like complete shit. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? What is it that I'm not doing? You go to this sheet and let's go to it now. So number 1, these are the 5 ways to get back in flow for the next 2 weeks. Okay. Number 1, can anyone pull up number 1? And with your beautiful voice, that's another sign if your throat chakra is blocked, is that you do not like the sound of your voice, or that when you speak very quietly and you don't want anyone to hear you. So if anyone right now wants to already get on board and start activating your throat, can you please read number 1?
I'll read.
Really?
All right, communication and expression. How do you communicate and express your thoughts, feelings, and emotions? Do you take the time to process it all before shouting it out loud to the world to hear? Ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, Virgos are thought-oriented. They approach the world with their common sense and logic, and no detail is overlooked. These qualities make them good writers and researchers. Consider being a writer and a researcher of oneself. Get to know your thoughts and feelings by writing them down, journaling, taking notes, or even considering voice recording and hearing your thoughts out loud. This is also the time to get creative and create a blueprint. Throat chakra, color blue, of your thoughts in order to see what you want to say, how you want to say it, and why, all before you speak it all into an existence. Dang, I can't talk.
That was perfect. Yes. Do you guys get what that's saying? Billy, what did you get out of that?
Sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my.
No, what did you get out of that?
To take your time in what you're doing, consider everything. Make sure that you're clear on what you're feeling before you speak it into existence, because your words are very powerful. You manifest things with your words and your actions.
Yes. Amen. Amen to that. And something here, which I have to admit that I need to get better at. Something that will be really important, especially for these next several weeks, is to really consider journaling and writing your thoughts down. Now, I know, maybe just speaking for myself, I say this in many of my classes, journaling and writing things down is extremely powerful. And that's why I put the blueprint. Before you build anything, any structure, there is a blueprint, right? There's a blueprint. And how ironic is it that it's called blue? Because the throat chakra is blue. So before you can build anything into existence, you have to create a blueprint. You have to have these things written down so that you can see it to believe it. And you have to see your own words, your own emotions, your own feelings before you can clearly speak it out into existence. Because when we don't take the time to do those things, sometimes people don't know what the hell you're talking about. You make no sense. And you're like, how do I not make any sense? I'm speaking English. I don't know why you're not getting. And it's because you haven't taken the time to write your information down, created your blueprint, and really asked yourself the big questions towards the bottom, which were what? It was right at the bottom.
This also is the time to get creative and create a blueprint of your thoughts in order to see what you want to say, how you want to say it, and why. All before you speak it into existence.
So please, this is the time. If you have some big things that have been weighing on you, things that you've been wanting to finally share, or maybe an action that you've been finally wanting to do. Maybe someone finally really wants to quit that job, and now you're finally trying to find the words, the courage, whatever it is. Maybe it's a relationship you finally decided you don't want to be in, or the relationship you really do want to be in. Take that time to first process it. What is it that you want to say? How do you want to say it, and why? What's the outcome? What are you trying to get here? Okay. And do that before you communicate and express yourself. Journaling is important. And if you don't like journaling, I like to tell my students, do you guys ever do the notes on your phone? I love that because I could just voice it. I just voice text all my notes and ideas. It's much faster than just sitting down, writing things down. And I can do it with like on the go as thoughts come up. Another powerful thing that a student brought up to me about a year ago was that she would actually voice record. She'd actually record herself about the things that she was thinking. And she would record herself on her down days of her thoughts. And then she would play it back and she would be like, oh, when she would actually hear herself, tell herself the things that she was thinking to herself, she couldn't believe how horrible she was to herself. And it really just gave her a different perspective. So if you really want to try something powerful, try voice recording yourself, your thoughts. Just try it once and just see what happens. Cool?
That's really powerful, Monique. Actually preparing for this meeting that I'm going to tomorrow.
Oh.
I spent all day today preparing what I wanted to say and writing down and journaling and being purposeful with how I want to present myself tomorrow.
There you go. This, of course, this doesn't shock me. Of course, could you try recording? It sounds like you're more than prepared. But if you really want to try, what it is that
Yes,
you
I will
already
do
put
it.
together, try
Yes.
recording it and hear it. But let someone else also hear it, because we can be our own worst critic too, right? And be way too hard on ourselves. So so try the voice record. I have yet to try it, but that's going to be my goal this week, is to try it. Cool. So the goal is now here we are, we went over number 1. The goal now is that on the day that you're feeling funky, you're feeling down, you feel like for some reason things aren't going your way, you'd go to the sheet and be like, have I worked on my communication and expression lately? No, I haven't. Today will be the day that I journal. Today will be the day that I do number 1. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. And then once you've done number 1, then we look at number 2. And I'm not saying you have to do this in order. I'm not saying you have to even do all these in one day. Maybe you only do 1 and number 3, or maybe you do 2 and number 5. But I'm saying do something every day that's on this sheet to keep you in flow, to keep you on that wave. Because the goal is, once we keep you on that wave, then we can really start to get to the manifesting part. So who wants to read number 2? Anybody? I can call on you if you like.
Number 2?
Yeah. Or Bill, is that Billy again?
Yeah, you want to read number 2?
Oh, does anyone else want to read? This is your chance to activate that beautiful voice of yours. Don't be scared. You're amongst just a few of us yogis. I promise you, I didn't put anything scary. Yeah, Cece, go ahead, girl.
Okay, create beneficial routines. The new moon in Virgo is a wonderful time to think about your daily habits. Much has been written about the importance of morning and evening routines. So what does your daily routine look like? Virgo is a fine habit former, so start some beneficial new routines this month. Extra bonus, if you can make these routines earthy, grounding, something connecting you to your body, be it morning or evening yoga, daily meditation, nutrient-packed breakfast smoothies, redefining diet, distressing bedtime ritual, whatever you can come up with. Challenge yourself to keep these healthy routines throughout the entire Virgo season.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's cool is some of you probably already have been starting to do some of these things. Just naturally, intuitively, the more you start to really work on yourselves. And obviously all of you are here because in some way, some form, you've been working on yourself. And so by reading some of these things, if you kind of get a little, oh, that's weird, I already started journaling, or actually I've been starting to already create a new routine, then that's just a little pat on the back that you're exactly where you need to be. You're doing the right stuff. You're feeling the energy. You're already in flow, and keep doing what you're doing. You're listening to your intuition and you're allowing that to guide you. So good job. But this month, for sure, it's about creating a solid routine, and for real, sticking to it. Challenge yourself, because if you're like me, maybe sometimes you start something and you do really good for 2 weeks and then you fall off of it. If you're like that, try to challenge yourself to at least finish through strong, and at least for this Virgo season, stick to that routine, and then see what happens if it can go on to the next. Cool. Let's move on. Number 3, get organized and check in with your inner perfectionism. This is a good one. Anyone want to read? Whitney, Michael, Mika, Heather? No one wants to read? I can read, but my throat chakra has been super overactivated in this chat. So
I can read. That's fine.
thank you, Heather.
Although as a Virgo, I'm not a typical neat freak. I mean, I'm part of it. I'm more of a perfectionist than I am a neat freak, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So this is something I work on.
Yeah,
so
well,
I'll
let's see
read
what this says.
one.
Yeah, let's see what about
Okay.
this one.
Okay, here it goes. Just being honest with the group.
I like it.
Okay, Virgo, get organized and check in with your inner perfectionism.
Yes.
Virgos are known to be very organized and punctual. When the new moon is in Virgo, it's the best time to catch up with paying bills, filing paperwork, and tidying up. Do an inventory of your life. Pay attention to the details. Work out what's working and what isn't. Virgo has a reputation for being a little bit of a perfectionist. So use this month and use this month, is that right?
Yeah, use this month's energy. Yeah.
Sorry, to think about where in your life you need to make changes and some tweaking and get organized. Let your inner Virgo perfectionism guide you by learning how to be a healthy perfectionist. I love that.
There's such a thing.
Healthy. Okay. Oh, a healthy perfectionist have high standards for themselves, but recognize that their superpower is seeing what needs changing and knowing the difference between what they can control and what's best to let go. The challenge for this Virgo season is in figuring out what's worth stressing out over and just not to give an F.
That's right. Okay, that is the challenge for all of us. And like I said, this is not just for the Virgos. The Virgos, though, are going to feel this even more. And this is not just about zodiac signs. Like I said earlier, you don't need to know the zodiacs, okay? This is just you understanding that for these last 2 weeks, these last 2 weeks, and for the next 2 weeks, this is what's been happening. And now that you're already now becoming aware of that, now you know what to work with, okay? And so this has already been happening, more so for the Virgos because this is your space, this is your time. So you're more connected to this, but this is happening for all of us. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's time to really hone into your perfectionism. And if you're an over perfectionist, try and find healthy ways to use your superpower. All right. And not allow that to nitpick too much or not give yourself enough cred that what you're doing is your best. And that's good. You don't need to do more than that and let go of what's out of your control. So number 4, thank you, Heather, for reading. Number 4, if anyone would like to read, if not, I will then go ahead and read. Michael or Whitney or Mika, you want to read it all? No? Okay. I'm going once, going twice. No. All right. I'm doing it then. Health. Oh, actually, I'm glad I'm doing this one. This one's really exciting. This one I've been definitely doing. So health, specifically for the mouth, throat, nose, and ears. All right. Virgo's energy is connected to the throat chakra and the root chakra, which means this is the time to ground into our truth. Okay, this is big. Ground into our truth. Finally, use our voice, speak our truth, and sing out loud for everyone to hear our needs and our wants. Only thing is, if our throat is out of whack, aka not balanced or sick, ain't no one gonna hear what's coming out of your mouth. Okay, so Virgos are known to be very health conscious, and they like to stay up to date with the latest and actually the latest and greatest wellness trends, which means this is the perfect time to take care of us, especially our mouth and our throat, our nose and our ears. So let's finally make it to the dentist appointment. Consider visiting an ENT if needed, and look up all the helpful life hacks that keep our throat and mouth healthy. Some things to try: gurgle with salt, drink apple cider vinegar. That was supposed to be together. Drink some honey and lemon. Use a tongue scraper and try oil pulling, which is an Ayurveda mouthwash. So I actually brought a little show and tell. This is a tongue scraper. Has anyone who hasn't seen this before, show your hands. Show a little hand of some kind. Has anyone not seen this before? So this is a tongue scraper. It looks like a very scary surgical device. So through my research to prepare for this particular season, understanding that this is about our mouth, it's about our dental, it's about our sinuses, our ears, our nose, our throat. I've been studying some Ayurveda, and in Ayurveda, the practice, it's basically the balancing of yoga. Yoga is enlightenment to your higher self, your spirit, where Ayurveda is the balancing of the mind and the body through understanding your body, through your elements, and also understanding different techniques and habits that you can do to keep yourself balanced. Throats, the tongue scraper. Basically, when you wake up in the morning, your mouth has created a cesspool of bacteria, right? So when we wake up in the morning and you stick out your tongue, it's typically full of white film. That white film, if not brushed off the tongue, stays on the tongue, festers in the tongue, and then goes down into the throat, and then can start to create colds and sicknesses and a weak immune system. By getting a tongue scraper, what you do in the morning is you take the tongue scraper and you scrape off that film after brushing your teeth. It's pretty crazy. So I've been doing that. I highly recommend trying it. I just started for the last 2 weeks, and I don't know, they say it works. So I've been doing it. So try it out. See if that's something for you. Also, one of the other Ayurveda things was the oil pulling. The oil pulling, which is what I have right here. So oil pulling, basically, the ancient yogis used to do this. It's coconut oil. You can get coconut oil, sesame oil, sunflower oil. It's basically a mouthwash. But instead of swishing the mouthwash and then spitting it out, you take a cap of this oil, you swish it around the mouth, and you let it sit for 5 to 20 minutes in your mouth in the morning. And what that does is it pulls down all the bacteria. It gathers all the bacteria that's in your mouth and allows you to then spit that out. So another thing for you to try, my husband and my girls really like that I've been doing this, because I'm not able to say much in the morning, like get all your stuff together and make sure you have your backpack and did you brush your teeth, or I actually have to just allow myself to trust that they'll figure it out and finish my oil pulling for them to me, then spit it out and use my voice and say everything that I've been needing to say, or actually find myself deciding that maybe I didn't need to say it and they figured it out. So those are a few things that I've picked up. This is your chance to explore and make sure that you are keeping up with your throat care. Apple cider vinegar, drinking it with tea in the morning also soothes the throats and helps kill bacteria. I have a feeling that these next few weeks still more and more people, as the allergies and the seasons are now transitioning, are going to have more issues, which will bring in more colds and people getting sick even more. So by doing these regimens before then, it'll be really helpful. Right? So how does that sound? Has anyone ever done any of those things? The tongue scraping or the oil pulling?
No.
No? Is that something that you would maybe try?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. The tongue scraper I just got on Amazon. Just make sure that it's, when you're looking it up, it's 100% stainless steel and or the copper when you look for it. And then the last one. Does anyone have any questions, by the way, before we get to the last one? Is everyone still here? Hopefully. I haven't lost anybody.
No, I'm here.
Still here? Good. Everyone else? Michael, you still there? Mika, you guys still there? Heather, everyone's still there?
I'm here.
You're still there? All right. Good job, Michael. Proud of you. Thank you so much, everyone. I know this has been different than compared to what we normally do. And so I really appreciate you guys all taking a chance and being more open to trying this out with me. So hopefully if this is something that works, we can do this more in the future. But if not, please go to the Move Yoga Life YouTube, and that's where you'll be able to find a lot more of these classes and the way that we do it, either in person or here in my actual room where I create a huge studio and actually teach the class. All right. So number 5, this is our last one. So we're almost done, and I'll give you one more thing and then you guys can enjoy the rest of your evening. So number 5, practice mindful listening and meditation. Before I start reading, is there anyone that would like to read this? Nobody else? Good. Okay. Practice mindful listening and meditation. So don't be alarmed if you find you're restless, if you find you're restless these next several weeks. Virgos have to make more of a conscious effort to relax because they have a mind that never rests. This is why it will be beyond beneficial to get out of your head and into your body. Find activities that will slow you down, keep you grounded, and root you in the present moment. Create a solid meditation practice, something simple you can practice each day during this fidgety Virgo season. The best question to ask is, how do I expect others to listen and understand my wants and needs if I haven't taken the time to listen to my own inner voice? A balanced throat chakra isn't always about talking, speaking, voicing our opinion. It's more about mastering the skill of listening mindfully and intuitively so that we can create purposeful and authentic lives. Purposeful and authentic lives. Boom. Huge. And if meditation is something that's new to you, or it's something that you've been wanting to explore and haven't quite yet, there are so many different types of meditations. I highly recommend maybe going on YouTube and just typing in throat chakra meditation and starting there. And just allowing yourself to do a 3-minute meditation, a 5-minute meditation, just getting yourself just even used to, like I said, a simple practice that consistently keeps you in flow, that really grounds you into your body so that you're not always up in your head. If you find yourself always worried and anxious about the future or depressed about the past, and you're not present on the day-to-day, then it is important, it's vital to find a practice that brings you back to the present moment, back to the physical body, back to the here and now, because this is where changes are going to happen. Not here, not there, but here in the moment. And that's where we want to be in order to manifest and make anything actually happen. And that's why we have these classes. So now that we have this understanding, is there anything that really stands out to anyone that you're nervous about or excited about, or have questions about on anything that we went over? Is there anything that was confusing? Do you understand the purpose of this and how to use it? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Whitney,
Yes.
you got it. I see you nodding your head. Mika, I hope you got it too. This is your first aid kit. Okay. This is your way to stay in flow. I'm telling you guys, I've used it. I'm just as much of a student as you guys are. And I find myself sometimes not using any of my own practices. And on the days where I have felt, I know my downs, I know what they feel like. I know when I'm not going into a good place, headspace, whatever you want to call it. And I know that there's been times when I do nothing and I stay there even longer. I'm not trying to tell you that your whole life is going to be rainbows and sunshines and butterflies, because that's just not going to happen here on planet Earth. Planet Earth is a life of challenges, of struggles, of purpose, and growth. And it's understanding really that when we come to these moments where we may be more down than up, that's an opportunity for us to see, what do I need to work on? There's something here that I need to work on, and what is it? And so I'm hoping that then in that moment, you'd grab this sheet, and on that day, you do something on this sheet. Okay. You do something on here. Maybe that day you look around and you're like, holy shit, my house is a disaster. Maybe I'm feeling this way because, hey, this is the time for me to get organized, to really get organized. Maybe today will be the day that I do that. Or, wow, it's been already a couple weeks. I haven't really created a routine and I do feel a bit disheveled. Maybe I need to sit down and create a morning and evening routine. I'll just start there and see what happens today and the next day. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I don't want this to be overwhelming. I don't want this to be something that it just makes you feel overwhelmed, because I know some of my yogis will look at this and be like, this is just all too new. I don't know what to do here. This is a lot of stuff. Just take it one day at a time, one number at a time. If one day you just do number 1 and that's your thing, that's your go-to, and you just stay there, then just stay there. Okay. And if the next day you want to add something else, then do that. The goal of this is not to overwhelm you. It's to help you. All right. And it's up to you to decide what works best, and hold yourself accountable for that. All right, cool. So from here, since no one has any questions, what would happen in our workshop is we would bust out our, where's that sheet? It was the first sheet that I put on this chat, the first link. It's the new moon wishing. Now, does anyone on here, do you guys goal set or manifest or set intentions or have a goal board, a vision board? Does anybody here do that already?
Absolutely.
Good. Whitney, good. CC, yeah, Heather?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. Most people, I think, if you don't, that's okay. If you don't, but it looks like most of you do. That's awesome. This is another way to do that. If you have your way of doing it, awesome. But this is another way. Basically, what I've created is a bit of a formula on how to really make these manifestations, these wishes, come true. Pretty much, it's like what we do on New Year's. Everyone sets their intention, right? It's New Year's. Oh my gosh, you have all these intentions of what you want to do for the new year. People set the intention that day, work on it for the first week of January, and then we kind of forget what our goals were, and we kind of go, unfortunately, back to our old routines or old ways. Well, the cool thing about the new moon is during the new moon, it's the opposite of the full moon, which is what we're about to have here in about 4 days. There is no moon in the sky. It is completely dark. There's no moon, nothing. All right. So that's the time to go within. That's the time to allow yourself to be and really start writing down things that you really truly want to manifest and see as the full moon starts to come into fruition. And the full moon is a whole different ballgame. But the new moon, it's said to be the best time to manifest, right? It's the best time to set your intentions. So I gave you guys this little sheet. You're welcome to use it. And what is on this sheet, does everyone have that? It was the first, it was the first link that I sent. If you click on that, and again, I'll post this on the descriptions on the video. It'll be down below. So this is the sheet. And what's that?
Can you bring these to the seminar with you?
Oh, yeah, I can do that too. But you can also print it out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, for people that might not be on here, you know?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Definitely. Yeah, I can bring that, or I can even share it on the 3T Fitness.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that. But this, you guys can print out. We print it out every new moon. I have my old one from last month. And then what you do is you write down your goals. Number 1 is you write down your goals. You write down your wishes, your dreams. What are you working on? I have only room for 5, but you can write down more, or maybe you only have 1 or 2 and you start there. After you do that, you write down the vision. So like I said before, we're humans. We have to see in order to believe. It's really difficult for us to believe in things that we cannot see. So in order for us to have these manifestations come into fruition, the first thing that we must do is we got to see it. We got to paint that picture. We got to create that blueprint. So it's important to write down the details of what it is that you're trying to manifest. So if it's a new home, a new job, a new relationship, whatever it is, you sit down and you write all the details of that new home, all the details of that relationship. And it's not just the aesthetics, you know, what the windows look like, or if he's tall or whatever it is. It's not just the details. It's also the feelings that you're going to get when you get that job, the feelings that you're going to get when you finally reach that goal, that feeling that you get when you are in that home and watching your kids play outside in your big backyard. Write down the feelings. It's the feelings that's really going to make the visualization come to fruition. Does that make sense? So writing down the vision, the details of what your goal that you're trying to achieve, what it's going to look like and feel like. Look like and feel like will be beyond important. Because for you to do that, then you will be able to create an affirmation. And right here, if you guys can, on a piece of paper, or if you haven't printed this out yet, if you can remind yourself that your affirmation is going to be your anchor. So your affirmation is going to be what anchors you back into your visualization of your goal. So what I mean there is that when we get off here, and tomorrow and the next day we go, you know, back into reality, and here we are working on our goals and going back to the challenges of the day to day. And then you get this thought of like, I'm just never going to get that house, or I'm just never going to get that, whatever that thing is. As soon as that horrible thought comes into place, you say your affirmation, and your affirmation needs to be solid. It needs to feel real, and it needs to feel like it's true to you. And when you create your affirmation, it can't be as if it's not already come true. It needs to be as if it's already happened. So if it is the new house, it's something of, I am so thankful that I'm finally living in my dream home. I'm so thankful for the amazing, loving relationship that I'm in. I am so blessed to be in my place of truth, pursuing my purpose, living my purpose. Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Your affirmation is not, I one day will get to my house, or I one day, that's you're reaching for it. You want your affirmation to be anchored so that your body and your mind believe that you already are in that present moment, that you are already living in that place of truth, in that particular dream or goal. Do you get it? This is super huge, okay? Because that anchor is what's going to keep you in line with your things that you're working towards and get you out of this doubt, this negativity. Because I know if you guys already have your vision boards, you've then reached definitely walls and moments of challenges where you're just, I don't know if this is actually doable. I don't know if this is attainable. All those doubts start to come. And in that moment, that's when you use that anchor to hurdle you over that wall and get you right back into the game, right back into the races going. Cool. And once you do that, my favorite part is your commitment. It's your commitment. And this is where actually it's supposed to be not your anchor. I put my commitment and anchor. This is your commitment and your accountability. This is what you're going to take action. So if you want to scratch that anchor out, and I'll fix that. But this is where you actually commit to creating some type of action. So it's one thing to sit here and dream all the time. Oh, I can't wait to have that job one day. Oh, I can't wait. No. What can you do this month to take at least one step closer to that? Rather than just sitting here and wishing and waiting, it's important for you to create some sort of action. So if you're looking for that dream job, what is one thing you could do this week? You know, if you're trying to get that sexy body back, what's one thing you can do this week? Maybe you finally go and get that gym membership. Maybe you finally start working on that resume. Do you see what I'm saying here? We need to start creating action and working towards that goal and committing to it. So when you put an action, try and put a date on it so that you can hold yourself accountable. Because once that date starts to creep up, You're going to have that fire lit under your ass, and that's what finally get you to finally get to going into some action. So this is just the way that we do in our class. Once you fill this out, you'll keep this out, hopefully right next to your 5 ways to connect. You'll be able to look at it every single day, so you know why you're doing what you're doing, what you're working on. And you know that these 5 ways of connecting are ways for you to continue to make space to work towards these goals and make these things actually happen and come true. I've seen some miraculous, insane miracles happen in these classes. I mean, Heather's even shared a couple of them with me of just her own personal stuff and some of the things that my other students have shared. When you finally become aware of what's happening within you, around you, to you, you create accountability. And when you finally have that accountability, you finally realize what things you can control and what things you can't. And when you finally realize that, then you know exactly where to put your energy and where you're wasting your energy. Your relationships will start to change, synchronicities will start to happen, and you'll start to make space. So now you have space to bring in all these amazing things that you've been trying to manifest, where before all these things have been trying to come to you, but you were just too busy, filled with all this baggage and all this junk that was just not able to allow all these things to come into fruition and manifest. Now that you know these things, now that you understand the energy around you, you can use these to your benefit. And so try it. Try these things out. And from here, what would happen is now we would take the practice, and I will be happy to send you. This is the actual yin yoga. I can send this to you guys, to the few that joined us. The yin yoga for the throat chakra. Pick one of these postures. There's only 6 of them, or pick all of them and do them for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that's it. Pick a nice relaxing song, music, whatever you like. I can even send you the playlist that I used for this throat chakra class, and play the 3 minutes of the song, breathe into that posture, say the affirmations. Each posture has a throat chakra affirmation with it. The first posture is connected to, I communicate my truth. The second posture, I listen intuitively with love and compassion. I honor my truth by speaking the truth. I live in authentic, honest, harmonious, and an honest, harmonious life. I choose authenticity over perfection. And I have the courage to be my true, authentic self. Say the affirmation, breathe into the posture for 3 minutes, and then move on to the next. Or maybe that's all you did was just one posture for that day, that one affirmation, and then you can check off your meditation. But by allowing yourself to create space, not just in the mind, like what we did right now, by becoming aware of the throat chakra and the Virgo energy, but when you actually put it into your yoga practice and you start to create space within the body and breathing into the body, now you're here not only physically opening up your body to the throat chakra space, but you're aligning everything. And you're removing the baggage and the junk so that you can really, truly make space for the things that you're trying to manifest. And if you guys are down, we'll be meeting on the full moon, or not on the full moon, 2 days before the full moon, this Friday at 6:30. For my yogis that live here in Arizona, we'll be in Gilbert, back at the same studio at Group Fit at 6:30. Where we will go over the full moon. Basically, does anyone know what the full moon is, what the energy of the full moon is about? So pretty much all that is that here we are now. We spent the last 2 weeks working on our communication, working on our truth, working on how to use our voice. Well, the full moon is now coming with this big bright light in the sky to shine in those dark areas of the things that you've been maybe shying away from or not wanting to see. And that there's something there that you need to see in order for you to truly speak your truth. Each full moon, just like the new moon, comes with a different chakra energy. This one is going to be the third eye chakra, which is your intuition. It's your inner wizard. Right? This is where it's your all-seeing eye, known as the third eye chakra. And that's connected to the Pisces. Any Pisces in here? No Pisces? So what happens now is here we are, we understand that we've been challenged to use our voice to speak our truth. And this full moon now is coming with this big bright light to say that, you've been trying to speak your truth. We've been trying to use your voice, but there's something that you need to see. And it's not to see with your outer eyes. It's to see with your inner eye, to see with your intuition. There's a gut feeling that you've been having and something that needs to really be able to show you so that you can really truly see to believe and then be able to finally speak your truth. That's what this full moon is going to be about. And so if you're down, we'll be meeting at 6:30 at Get Group Fit or Group Fit in Gilbert. And if you can't make it, I'll be doing a recording of the class, the workshop, and then the actual yin yoga for the third eye chakra. So if you would like to register for that, let me know. It's $30 in person and $20 online. You'll get the full moon worksheet. It'll be different than the 5 ways to connect. But with that full moon worksheet, it'll give you 5 questions that this moon is asking you that it's important that you need to ask yourself and start working on the answers so that you can finish off this energy, this Virgo season strong. And hopefully with some of the goals that you've been working on checked off, making room for some new goals for the next season. All right. So how does everyone feel? How are we doing? That was a lot. And I hope that you guys can use the yin yoga sheet to relax, rejuvenate, refocus. If you have any questions on the postures, you're more than welcome to message me and I'd be happy to let you know what exactly each posture is about. And I'm going to attach that to the chat here in a minute. And then also I will attach it to the link on YouTube.
This was really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And if you guys have any questions, you can either message me on Instagram or Facebook at Move Yoga Life. And feel free to join the group on Facebook, the Move Yoga Life Tribe. That we have about a little over 300 yogis on there. You're welcome to share, ask questions. That's where I'll post even some other classes that I'll be offering outside of just the moon, the new moon and the full moon classes. All righty. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy these next few weeks, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.